Creating a strong evaluation plan, assessing quality of implementation. In this video, we'll discuss two key concepts for implementation evaluation. The first is process data, and the second is model fidelity. We will highlight tools for assessing the quality of implementation for these concepts. So what is process data? Process data have to do with the factors that lead to the program's outputs. Examples include how many people have participated in the program, their attendance rates, and how many have completed the full program. Process data may also capture staff characteristics such as turnover or training in the model. Other examples might be whether the practitioner or therapist gave enough hours for a particular session, or if they gave the appropriate number of sessions. These types of measurements are critical in determining whether the program was implemented as intended. It is also important to assess whether the correct components of the program were implemented. This is model fidelity. Model fidelity means how closely we adhere to the proposed model that has been proven to be effective. It is important to measure fidelity because one needs to know that the components that were theoretically said to impact outcomes were actually implemented. So how do we assess process and model fidelity? In other words, how do we assess the logistics of implementation and whether we are adhering to the model? To ensure that you are implementing with fidelity and meeting model targets, it is important to pay attention to the program's design and the logic model, or theory of change model. The logic model will show what components or activities should be undertaken by those implementing the program. Logic models, in a way, are like visual recipe cards for how the evidence-based program will impact the targeted outcomes. Equally important is the program curriculum or manual. This gives detailed descriptions of the program's activities and components and provides instruction around how and when to implement which components. The program curriculum will also provide instruction on how long the program is to run, its duration, and how much, its dosage, is needed to achieve the targeted outcomes. We need to have measures in place that capture the number of sessions and length, whether or not all program activities were implemented, and whether or not they were implemented with quality. A useful tool to capture this information is a fidelity checklist. Oftentimes, a developer of an EBP will have produced a fidelity checklist that can be downloaded from their website. For programs that are supported by the Epicenter, a fidelity checklist and guidance on using it is available. To recap, process data provides information about the logistics of implementation. Process data answers questions like how many or how often. Fidelity data describes how closely the current implementation matches the version delivered in the research. Both are important measures of implementation quality and help to ensure that a program will have its desired impact.